It's your good buddy Viper back with some more SM64 ROM hacks, and this time I got a pretty, let's just say, interesting one. This is SM64 Shining Stars, released by SM64 Pi in 2013, and this is kind of an interesting. This is an interesting one. So let's just dive right in and see what jankiness this hack has to offer. And here we go. So I am going to be doing the 151 star category, which is basically this game's 100% category. But I'm also playing with a Game Shark code that will not kick Mario out of the stage when he collects a star, which allows me to clear more of these stages in fewer trips than would otherwise be required. So the start of this run is already pretty difficult. I got a pretty tough strat here to get to the Vanish Cap course. Nice, I got it. Okay. This is Dust Drain, the Vanish Cap course. There are 5 stars here. Similarly to like Mario 74, there's a lot of extra stars in the secret courses, which makes up for the additional stars that this hack has. And you'll get to see the Game Shark code here. You'll get to see the effects of non-stop here in just a minute. So first I gotta get this star. As you saw there, that star did not take me out of the level, and I'm able to stay inside it. That's kind of what non-stop does. That's not normal behavior for this hack. Yeah, the reason I chose to do this way is because there's a lot. The normal 151 star run for this hack has quite a bit of repetitiveness in it, and using this code kind of cuts out a lot of that repetitiveness and makes the routing a little bit more interesting. By the way, brace your ears. So that's kind of what I was referring to when I said this hack was jank. For one thing, the music, for the most part, is not imported very well. So there's going to be a lot of loud, obnoxious shrieking that you'll be hearing. Some songs are good. And thankfully, I think that song is honestly the worst offender, but you shouldn't have to hear any more of it. Because if you grab a star while a special cap is in effect, or while like the music is muted after beating a boss, then the level music just goes away for the rest of the time in the stage. So in any other levels that feature that song, you shouldn't have to hear those awful screeching notes anymore. And that's just a side effect of the non-stop code. Because basically what I think it does is basically just when you collect a star, instead of entering the Starfall and then Star Dance action, you just maintain whatever action you were previously in. Okay, so that was the first level cleared out. I was able to do that without dying. That's a very good start to the run. This is a pretty scary stage to make it through, especially when you're trying to go fast. And now we're just going to immediately chain that into this next course, the Stormy Skyway. And once again, continuing the theme of missing music. Once I grab this star that's behind this gate here with the Vanish Cap, that means level music is just going to go away for the rest of the time I'm in here. Also, Chuckya just kind of fell from the sky. So basically the way that works is Chuckya was high above me on a bunch of clouds that are kind of sloped downwards at their edges. And Chuckya is normally not able to fall off of ledges, but if the ground is sloped at the edge, then Chuckya can actually briefly become airborne, and at that point it will be able to fall off. So, and because of the way those clouds are structured, it's pretty much guaranteed that it's going to fall eventually. So I use that to get the 5 coins from that. Also, you can just jump through the walls of that maze. And I apologize if any of the clacking is annoying, because as a reminder, I play all SM64 ROM hacks on keyboard. Just partly because I don't have a controller for my PC, and partly just because I like it. This hack is actually pretty keyboard friendly, thankfully. Okay. Gotta be careful here. If you fall down up here, there's no good backup for it, so you would have to climb all the way back up. interesting thwomp cycle there. Thwomp cycles are basically RNG, so that thwomp is pretty much going to be in a different spot every single time. Right. So I actually can't get all the stars here yet because there's one star that doesn't spawn until you collect the first 5. So I need to get all of those stars first. So after I get like a point star here, I immediately re-enter the level. Even with the non-stop code, not every course is going to be completed within a single trip. There are going to be some that I'm going to have to make multiple trips for. But that's that first level done. And also, between levels, I'm going to be grabbing whatever 1-ups I can. Non-stop, the thing with non-stop that makes it kind of a daring thing to do in a marathon is that because you don't do any star exits, you also don't get any save prompts after collecting stars. So basically, the only times I'll be able to save in this run are for the 3 cap switches. So basically, if I game over, then that's a huge problem. And if I soft lock, that's also a huge problem. And I'm bringing up soft locks because this hack is notoriously susceptible to them. Because, like I said, this hack was created in 2013. And back then, knowledge of SM64 geometry and its mechanics wasn't really well known. It was kind of primitive, and so you've probably already noticed that a lot of the level geometry for these this hack is not exactly the most well constructed. And there's a lot of if you've seen Panicoic's video on invisible walls in the original SM64, you might be familiar with some of the issues with the level geometry. There's a lot of floor overshadowing in various places, and a lot of places where like there's floor gaps that cause invisible walls to show up. And a lot of those invisible walls are inconveniently placed next to slopes, and if you slide into them or fall into them, then you're just stuck. And the only way to get out of it is to reset, which would cause me to lose all of my progress here. So, I do have a couple of additional game shortcodes that I have activated just in case that were to happen. So we don't have to worry about this run like full on dying or anything. But yeah, that's another one of the things that makes this hack really janky is just how many places there are that you can soft lock, and a lot of them you probably could come across in a casual playthrough. So I have not talked about this level at all. There was a cool BLJ strat I did earlier that saves a lot of time. This is Ice Fire Caverns. As you can see, it's kind of like Freeze Flame Galaxy from Mario Galaxy, and that is both ice and lava themed. And this course also happens to hide the entrance to the Metal Cap course. So let's go there. And this is another course that I have to do in multiple trips, mainly because there's a few stars at the very bottom of the level, and getting back up after you go all the way down isn't really possible. And then this star, I have to get to the end of this very big lava ravine. And once I get the star, I lose my metal cap, and so I no longer can just bounce across the lava freely, so I have to take a death there. And that's actually another reason why I'm going to be picking up lives wherever I can, is because there's going to be a lot of those death abuses throughout this run. Right. So I'm going to save there, even though it really doesn't matter. So this level also has the horrible remix of the Floro Caverns theme from Super Paper Mario that you heard in the Vanish Cap level. But since I grabbed a star while the metal cap was in effect, now you don't have to hear that music at all. So, you're welcome to your ears for that. Right, this next star is really difficult to get there's like a big section of floor here that's completely overshadowed and causes this giant invisible wall to leak through. And that can sometimes get you as you're trying to get down to this little alcove here. Nice, I got that. Even if you get this star, it's possible the invisible wall just blocks you. And you get stuck inside that cavern and you just get lava boosted into death. the fact that that didn't happen there is actually very good. And then, now I'm at the bottom of this course, and you'll see that pipe over there. This is not normally used in regular speedruns, but in non-stop, this can actually be useful. No idea why Pi put this here, but there's just a pipe in this level that leads to course 1. So we can go straight from the metal cap to course 1, and that kind of... That would be a detriment in regular gameplay and even in speedruns, but here it's actually useful. As I will have to come back to the Ice Fire Cavern level eventually, but we can put that off for later. So this is actually course 1, and we have the Gourmet Race music. There is a lot of Kirby music in this hack, and also a lot of Paper Mario music, especially from especially from TTYD and the original Paper Mario. But there's some Super Paper Mario music as well. Okay, that was kind of scary. So the thing with those green shrinking platforms, you probably recognize them from Mario Galaxy. They have been incorporated into this hack, but they are good. They go away for good once you use them once. So I have to make sure that I don't fall down there. Otherwise, I most likely wouldn't have enough platforms to get back up. And I'm gonna take fall damage here because I didn't get the die recover. And I'm actually going to go out of my way to get some coins here because I would very much like to go into this next part with full health. So we got a King Bob-omb fight up here. So the area behind this King Bob-omb arena, there's just no floor there, and if you fall down there, you slide into out of bounds and soft lock. And then this King Bob-omb fight is also a little bit tricky because there's some added fire here. The fire can speed up the fight because you can use the fire to cancel throw and like right here. But it also comes at the cost of Mario's health. And I'm gonna get burned again here unless I can jump away right away. So if I didn't get burned there, I probably could have grabbed that star and prevented the music from starting again, but now I have to listen to it. Gourmet Race is a pretty good track, but this is not the best rendition of it. So, one other thing about the non-stop runs that makes them kind of cool is for levels that have multiple collectibles, like red coins and secrets, such as this level, you can kind of just do both of them in the same trip, which makes that level navigation quite a bit more convenient. So you'll be seeing me do that quite a bit. And then I'll be getting these last 2 stars, and then the last star in this level is just behind this little alcove here. And I'll be exiting course to go from here. That was a pretty good level. And that is the wrong way to go. Actually, I probably should have gone that way to get the 1 out of whatever. There's a lot of 1-ups in this level. So here's a Piranha Sky Garden. This is another level I'm going to have to do in 2 trips. Also just because there's 1 star that's above the abyss, so I basically have to die in order to get it. And here we have some nice Super Mario Land 2 music. Star, and then there's another star that's off in the distance here. And you can see why this star needs to be kind of collected on its own. Alright, now I'm gonna go ahead and get the remaining stars. And this is another level that has both red coins and secrets. So thankfully I can get both of them in the same trip. And here's a fun skip. So you're supposed to use a Vanish Cap to get a star that's behind this, in this little box here. But, it's very fickle, so I might be here for a while. But, if you just jump against this wall, it's actually possible to clip behind it, like that. No idea why that works, but... probably some quarter-step nonsense. The rest of this level is still pretty scary, though, because it's very easy to fall. And everything below me is death, so you really don't want to do that. By the way, there are those big piranha plants. There are 4 of them in this level, so they don't give a star. But there will be a star later on that has 5 piranhas that you need to kill. Star is actually another star that's a one-way trip because you can't really come back from it, and you'll see that in just a second, assuming I have the other 4 secrets, which I think I do. But first I need to get the coin collecting stars, and I'm just going to tank a hit from this chain chomp. Okay. The secret star is on that little platform down there. Thankfully, from here, I can just exit course. So I don't have to tank another death. That was a very good level, aside from it taking a little bit to get the clip for that 1 star. Right, so now I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest of this level. I got 1 of the stars here earlier, but now I'm going to go ahead and get the other 6. This level has one of the longest 100 coin missions in the game, just because this is a super big level and the coins are kind of spread out. And there really aren't that many coins here, so you kind of have to spend a decent amount of time hunting for them. There's a few enemies I'm going to need to kill along the way as well. Taking care of that in a minute, but first I want to get these blue coins. These blue coins are actually really hard. You have barely enough time to get all of them. Very nice. And then this bully is, this big bully is very annoying because, in order to get it into the lava, you have to push it outside of its home range, and at that point it just stops chasing you. Alright, I'm gonna grab this coin just for the heck of it. At that point, it stops chasing you, so it's very difficult to get the bully into the lava, especially when you also have those other smaller bullies to contend with. There's a really steep floor triangle here that I can try to... you can collect through that floor, but I guess my core step alignment wasn't good enough, so I ended up hitting the floor instead. Probably tell that the coins in this hack use a different looking texture. I'll leave it up to you to decide whether you think it looks better. Also, abrupt cut in the music coming here because music looks weirdly in this hack sometimes. Very high up, and falling down would mean I have to climb all the way back up, or worse, take a death. So it might seem like I'm going a little out of my way for coins here, but again, you do cut it pretty short. That's good enough. And there's another big bully fight over here. Gotta wait for it to fall. because there's a line of 5 here that I need to get. There's just one more red coin. So you might have wondered why I didn't get all the stars in this level on my first go-through before entering the Metal Cap course, so that I wouldn't have to come back here. And the reason is actually this final star that I'm going to be getting here. There's pretty much no way to get to this star without having to die afterwards because it's above a bunch of lava. As you can see. So I just kind of have to die here. So it wouldn't be possible anyways. And here's course 5. This is Mount Lava Lava. That can either be a Paper Mario or I think it's it could also be a Wario Land reference, whatever you want to refer to it as. The music is from Paper Mario, so I guess that could be the interpretation, but I'll leave it up to you. So I'm going to need the shell here for the first bit of the stage. Because there's 30 coins on the lava that you need to get in order to get the 100 coin star along with that first star. Now I can also use the shell to climb up this giant mountain. This is not how you're intended to get to this star, but it's quite a bit faster. At least for this route. I remember testing a while back and found out that the intended route to get to this star actually isn't that much faster than using the shell. At least on a single star basis, but in non-stop it would definitely be faster. And then here's a fun little secret. There's platforms up here that have 1-ups on them. And I very much want those, because again, lives are a bit of a premium in this game, and I'd like to... I got the... So if you've seen Pan and Koic's recent glitch video on Goombas, then you might have noticed that blue coin was just uncollectible. So that happens when a coin snaps up onto a floor before it starts falling downwards, and that basically causes it to be uncollectible. Because the coin doesn't become tangible until it starts falling downwards. So that blue coin would have been uncollectible. I got very unlucky there. So I had to get that 10 coin box as a backup. And then there's just 5 red coins in this cave instead of the usual 8. And they require some kind of tricky platforming to get to. So I skipped over a line of 5 coins earlier so that those 5 could be my last 5 coins, since otherwise I could spawn the 100 coin star in likely not a very good position. And now I can go down here. And there's a shell here that I can use to take care of these piranhas. This is the star I was referring to earlier where there's 5 piranhas that I need to kill. And you can probably tell they've been reskinned to look somewhat like the fire piranha from Paper Mario, and I would very much like to kill this guy. That was kind of stupid. That normally does not happen. I have to be careful when I move away from that last piranha, because if you move too far away from it, then it deactivates and it doesn't finish its death animation. So you kind of saw me slow down a little bit there. And then there's actually 2 stars down here that are both dead ends. This star requires me to die, so I'm going to be getting it first. And then I'm going to go back in and get the other one, and I can just exit course from that one. By the way, you may be wondering why I'm not using that level reset game shortcuts that I was referring to earlier to like avoid taking deaths like that. And for this run, I'd only like to use them if, like, I absolutely have to. So, like, if I soft lock or I'm about to die with 0 lives, then those would be the only situations in which I use that. Yeah, I think I'm having a little bit of some lag spikes here, but I hope it's not affecting this run a little too much. And here's the first Bowser level. We've got more TTYD music. That is not great. So there are 4 stars in this level. 2 of them would normally require me to reclimb, but I'm going to be skipping one of them using a strat that I did not think about for the longest time. Also, there's another one up here. I wouldn't normally get that one up, but for the marathon, I figured I'd show it off. You might have also noticed that the first red coin gave it 0 instead of 1. That's because there's actually 9 red coins in this level. There are a few levels in this hack that have more than 8 red coins, and the behavior for more red coins than usual in ROM hacks is kind of weird. The red coins before the final 8 just display zeros and play sound effects that internally are listed before the red coin sound effect. Because there's actually only 1 red coin sound effect, it just gets pitched up for every red coin you collect. Okay, so here's one of the stars I need to get that requires me to backtrack, and I really hope I don't miss it. There we go. That's a very punishing star to miss, because then you have to climb all the way back up and get it again. Thankfully I got it first try. I have to be careful here, because basically if I fall here at all, then I'm just dead. So I'm actually not going to be getting the 4th star right away. Instead, I'm going to get this one and then the star that's in that this little tower here. I gotta make sure I don't hit the lava again because I can't take another lava hit. And now we're going to fight Bowser for the first time. And this is just the same as the original game. If you're wondering how I'm able to spin Bowser on a keyboard like that, I just hold right and mash left. So here's what I'm going to do in order to skip a reclimb here. I'm going to grab this key. And I was a little early there. And then I'm actually going to die here. And this respawns me right outside the level next to the pipe, and I'm still at the very top of the level. So I can just go back down here. Get the final star without having to climb up again. There we go. Okay, I'll go this way. I want the 1-up anyways. So that's everything I can do in the first overworld for now. There is one more course here that I'm going to be visiting later, but I need the wing cap in order to do that. So let's head off to the second overworld. Start off with our first course here, Magma Mountains. And here we've got Yoshi's Island music. So this is another, I think you can actually do this level in 2 trips, in 1 trip, but getting back from this star is ridiculously difficult. I know it's doable, but I don't think it would be reliable to go for in a real-time speedrun, so I'm just gonna use a death for that star. By the way, if you somehow lose the shell before you make it past the first level, you're just screwed. There's a lot of very clever but questionable level design in this hack, like that. also got more cases of imperfect level geometry causing invisible walls. That movement that I did there was not arbitrary. I did actually need to do it that way to reduce my chances of hitting an invisible wall there. And there's another one up down here that I'm gonna grab. I gotta be careful, I can only take one more level here. So this star is kind of stupid. You're actually supposed to use a combination of the metal and vantage caps to get to this star, but you don't really need either of them, because you can stand on the side here to get past this lava pit, and the wall isn't solid, so you can just go through. So, not entirely sure what went wrong there, but again, just another case of this hack, so questionable. Somewhat scary section coming up here. I don't want to take any unnecessary damage here. I need to lava boost in order to get back. Thankfully, I only need to do one. There's the invisible wall I was talking about. Here's where the level route here gets a little bit awkward, because I do have to do a reclimb here. I need to get the red coin star, which is all the way at the bottom of this, which is all the way at the bottom down there. And then I'm going to need to climb back up because there's another star I need to get by going that direction. Also, it's possible to just fall through the floor there and soft lock. So, again, because of the poor level geometry here. This part's really awkward to navigate with keyboard. And then this is another star that's a one-way trip. I have to die in order to get it, because there's no way out of this pit, because all of this is quicksand. And that's kind of annoying, because I do actually have to re-enter this level in order to get to the wing cap course. It would be nice if you can get all the stars and then just go straight to the wing cap course, but unfortunately you cannot. Okay, I kind of brain farted there at the beginning, but that's fine. I got the red coins there when I wasn't supposed to, or when I didn't need to, rather. So I gotta go all the way back up here to get that shell again, because I need that shell in order to get to the wing cap course. It actually is possible to use BLJ strat to get to the wing cap instead, but I have never pulled it off. And I believe there's also a risk of soft locking if you go for it, so I'm just gonna do it this way, which is quite a bit slower, but there's really no way around it. I also have to make sure I don't lose the shell here. In one of my practice runs, I actually did lose the shell there. And there's just kind of a warp here that takes you to the wing cap course. This first star is a one-way trip, so I'm just gonna die immediately after getting it. By the way, this is a Kirby and the Amazing Mirror music, in case you didn't recognize it. This song actually wasn't in the original version of this hack. It was only added, I believe, in version 2.0. This is actually version 3.0. And eventually there would be a Shining Stars repainted, which basically just goes over this entire game with not just a coat of paint, but like all of the art supplies imaginable. It sort of modernizes it. I've never played that hack. There's a lot of flying around in this level, and thankfully the teleporters actually reflex your wing cap. Since you normally just spawn into this level with the wing cap anyways. I gotta use a couple of cannons here to reach some higher up areas. Okay. And now I gotta do a somewhat risky jump to this star. Take some fall damage, but that's fine because it gets me here. And that is the last opportunity I will get to save in this entire run. So at this point, I better not game over or soft lock. But again, I do have additional game shark codes in play in case the worst does happen. So at this point, I only have one star left to collect here. And I'm just going to kind of do a blind... Oh yeah, I need the wing cap. I kind of need to do a blind jump here. Yes. And there we go. That's it for that level. So now I have the wing cap, which means I can finish up the final course here. Unfortunately, I do have to travel a bit of a ways to get to it. But this is still faster and preferable than having to die twice in order to exit course 9 and then take the high path back to the world 1. Also, there's just a sensor here. And now it's time for Starshine Cove. And here we have Banjo-Kazooie music. That is just ripped straight from Mario 74 Extreme Edition. This level is way too big. And you'll see what I mean by that here in just a little bit. Also, the slopes are really steep, so you can get a lot of speed off of them. And I don't believe you're actually supposed to run up this giant floor here, but you can, and it makes getting up here pretty fast. This is not how you're intended to get this star. You're supposed to use the wing cap to do it. Okay, you gotta be careful here. As you saw there, the collision of this tree is very wonky, so it's easy to just fall off. And once again, we have a bit of a shortage of coins here. So I gotta climb up this slope here 2 more times. And when you're on top of this giant roof, you have to be really careful, because basically everything to the right of me is overshadowed floor that lets a ceiling leak through. And that causes invisible wall. And if you slide into that invisible wall, you're stuck, and you soft lock. So you gotta make sure you slide off there from the right side. And again, if you want to know more of what I'm talking about with like floor overshadowing and invisible walls and all that, you just need to watch Pan and Coic's video about invisible walls. And that's... I'm failing to get on top of here for some reason. There we go. I gotta slide off here to get these red coins here. It actually is possible to get all the stars in this course without the wing cap, but screw doing that. especially the hot air balloon star that you'll see in just a moment. So I'm first going to use the wing cap to get to this star, and that will cause the music to be muted for the rest of the level. And I gotta go back up to where the wing cap is. Because again, if I collect a star while a special cap is in effect, then the cap just goes away. Because that's what happens normally when you collect a star. So for this hot air balloon star, I'm actually gonna start my flight from down here, which is a little bit slower, but it's easier to control my speed. And actually, I just remembered I don't need to do that. Because I actually have to fly all the way over here to get this red coin. And I actually don't know if I... Okay, I kind of brain farted there. I did the movement that I would do to just normally get the hot air balloon star, but you actually don't want to do that because there's a red coin nearby. And I didn't have enough, I don't think I had enough height to reach it. So I'm just gonna go back up and get that red coin real quick. There we go, so I'm supposed to start my flight from up here. Fly from here to get into this hot air balloon, which is significantly easier. But you also don't want to bonk. And now the entire rest of this level is going to be swimming to get the remaining coins, as well as there's some secrets down here. And I completely missed the first secret. Where is the first secret? There it is. So yeah, I hope you enjoy swimming with basically silence in the background. If there's issues with the audio, it could be like slight lag spikes that I'm experiencing. So yeah, I'm pretty much gonna have nothing to say about this next part. I have no idea where I am. Okay, there it is. The underwater camera in this game is not all that great. Getting closer. I know this part is super, super boring, but there's really nothing that can be done about it. Okay, I think I just need a... Actually, no, I do need all the coins from here, I think. Okay, there we go. Like I said, this level is really, really big, so this underwater section is a lot... Navigating it takes a lot more time than you feel like it should. There's the 100 coin star. And then this fifth secret is annoying to get because there's an exposed ceiling right here that actually down warps you into the tunnel below. If you hit it. I might actually try to hit it just for the... Oh, I didn't get it. Right, so I gotta make sure I swim to the left of this chest, otherwise I could hit that ceiling. Oh, and there's an overshadowed floor right there. You might have seen Mario's shadow disappear for just a second. And if you fall into that floor, then you soft lock. So as if all of that wasn't lovely enough. And don't worry, that soft lock counter is going to continue to go up. For the remainder of this run. Here's the obligatory snow level, Wintry Wasteland. And once again, we have Paper Mario music. So this is actually not how you're intended to get this star. There's a wing cap you're supposed to use. Also, there's some more overshadowed floor there. And if you fall into that floor, guess what happens? You soft lock. And then you can just barely make it back from there. And then there's a secret warp up here that takes you to this wing cap. So in regular 151 star, you would use this wing cap for basically just every star. But since the wing cap goes away after you collect the star, and to get back there, you would need to take that warp again, which is all the way back at the beginning of the level. Also, there's another Chuckya falling. Then I can really only use that wing cap for one of the stars. So I am going to have to navigate the rest of this level normally. And in complete silence, because the music is gone. Thankfully this is a one-trip level, so I should be able to just knock everything out in one go. I need to pay attention to my coin count as I go through this section. That was beautiful. I need to make sure I end with the right amount of coins here. Grab some of those rings of 8 coins there. Alright. Just to be on the safe side, I'm gonna grab the spin drift, because I think I might be a little bit short on coins. Yeah, I think I'm 2 coins short. Yeah, I'm 2 coins short. It's not a huge deal. I can back that up pretty easily. Oh, also don't fall in the center of that little chasm there, because then you just die. And I have forgotten this star plenty of times, so I'm gonna make sure I get that. Alright. So normally I just long jump straight to the red coin star, but I'm gonna go a little bit out of my way here to get the extra coins I'm missing. So there's a big secret about this hack, that you're supposed to find a bunch of secret signs or whatever in order to discover there's the star temple hidden level that encompasses a few stars that otherwise aren't really hinted at by the game. The game says there's 144 stars, but there's actually 6 additional ones in this hidden level, and to figure out where it is, you need to find these secret signs. Yeah, there's just a warp to it on this box back here. And, what's interesting, though, again, I said that the hack says there's 144 stars as part of, like, the story or whatever. And there's 6 in this level, but that still leaves 1 star unaccounted for. So your guess is as good as mine as to where the math for that got screwed up. Also, this jump is impossible. miss your triple jump like 95% of the time. It's so annoying. And this level in general is just kind of a pain to navigate. I don't think there really is an intended way to get around it. You kind of just have to climb across the slope like that. And thankfully, I got rid of the music there because this is another level with really loud and annoying music, which I believe is also from Super Paper Mario. I could be wrong. Alright. So now I gotta go all the way around this slope to get to the other side. I'm gonna go for a kind of risky strat here. I'm gonna do a... Oh, okay, whatever. I was gonna try to do like a steep... Like, I was gonna try to jump off that slope facing forward so that I would be able to get... I would be able to get into this alcove without having to wall kick up, but I didn't get it, so that's not a huge deal. And I gotta climb up this one more time. Nice invisible wall there. I actually forgot about that one for a little bit. So for this upcoming star, I think this upcoming star, I think this is the intended way you're supposed to get it, which is really stupid because there's like this entire section before it that seems to indicate that there was some platforming you'd have to do. But no, you just kind of have to jump over the slope like that. And then I gotta jump all the way back here. And now I gotta hope I don't miss this star. Alright, that was pretty good. So there's the hidden level of this hack. And now to die and get out of this place, I'm gonna do a cool little strat where I take fall damage on the blocks and then have the fall damage carry me into the lava. And up next we have a pretty interesting course actually known as the Abyss. The name doesn't really explain what it is, but basically you have a bunch of different... I don't exactly know what the premise of this level is supposed to be, but you have like a bunch of different areas within it. And the music actually changes as you enter each area. And this is a really, really fun level. Because it flows super nicely. I haven't really yet mentioned this, but I actually did all the routing for this category pretty much by myself. And the general idea was take the 100 coin stars that are used in the regular speedrunning categories and just kind of build off of that, grab any stars that you pass by along the way in those routes, and then where necessary, make adjustments. Okay, this is not good. I can't take another. Yoshi's Island music. In fact, there was actually 2 Yoshi's Island songs back to back here. I didn't even realize that until just now. Got one more section here. There's also one up here that thankfully I can grab. Okay, that was extremely risky to go for. And in case you don't recognize it, this is... I don't remember which Donkey Kong Country game this is, but this is like Life in the Mines from one of the Donkey Kong Country games. I gotta be careful here, because if I fall, then I fall into quicksand. And I kind of have a lot of coins now. Thankfully, I have the 100-coin star now. And then at the very end of here, we have another wing cap that I'm going to use to get back to the red coin star, which is out in the starting area. That just leaves one star unaccounted for, and it's just right down here. That was another pretty good level. Alright, now it's time for a secret course. This is New Shine City. So, a little bit of some interesting trivia about this particular level. I believe this was actually supposed to be, this level model you see here was supposed to be the foundation for a level that would appear in Shining Stars 2. Because yes, this game did receive a sequel. In fact, it's received several. And the original version of this level, which can actually be seen in version 1.0 of this hack, was completely different and was actually repurposed from an idea that Pi originally intended to use for an overworld level, but he wasn't able to get the overworld level to work properly, so he just repurposed the level model into an entirely separate course and just hit a bunch of random stars in it. And then for later revisions, he took it out and replaced it with this level. Which was arguably the better thing to do. It's a somewhat careful jump I need to make here. And for those who are just coming in, the thing where I'm grabbing stars and I'm able to stay in the level is not normal behavior in this hack. I'm playing with a game shark code that lets me do that, and that's where the non-stop comes into play. By the way, those note blocks are extremely broken because if you're holding A at all, then you just get launched super high up. And that's not actually how they're supposed to work. Okay. So I have just enough health here in order to get this star, because I'm going to have to take big fall damage when I do it. Right, one more star, and I do have to die in order to get it, because it's just over a pit. There we go. And that's that done. Okay, now it's time for a Desolate Dryline, and you might want to turn down your volume for this one. And we're starting off with a pretty scary section because this is another area. In vanilla gameplay, you're not really at risk of soft locking here. In this tunnel right here, everything is actually not quicksand, it's actually just a giant slide. And if I end up losing the shell and ending up in here in a belly slide state, it's actually impossible to get out of it. So I really don't want to lose the shell here. Also, if you grab a star while on a shell, the shell disappears, but you remain in the shell grinding action. Another byproduct of the non-stop code. So now I'm no longer at risk for soft locking here, so that's good. I can still die, but that won't be as big of a problem. And since I still have the shell, I can use it to climb up this giant hill. Which is significantly faster than the one here. That giant hole, you'd think you could fall into it, but no, it's just entirely, I don't know if it's a ceiling or out of bounds, but it's entirely invisible walls. So if you slide into it, you soft lock. Again, that counter is going to keep going up as I go through this hack. There's just two red points right next to each other here. the red coin placement in this level is somewhat weird. Me to fall all the way down here, which is fine because there's a red coin down here I need to get. And the red coin is impossible to find because that, like, I guess that's supposed to be water, but it's not actually water. It kind of just covers it. So now I have just 100 coin star and one other star left. Secrets in this cave. This star has to be collected last because there's no way out of And there we go. This will be my first gold split of the run. Hold it by like 6 seconds there. Mamma mia! So now I'm gonna cheat a little bit. So if you've never seen this technique before, it's just frame walking. It just allows you to climb up slopes that you wouldn't normally be able to climb through other means. It's way easier on keyboard because you can just mash a direction forward in order to get up the slope instead of having to fiddle with the control stick. And this is the slide. There are 3 stars here, including a red coin star, and thankfully I could get all of them in one go. And you notice that you are timed for one of these stars, but I'm not sure if that actually matters because the time you have to cross the finish line is extremely different. Like, I have never finished the slide with a low enough time that I wasn't able to get the star. Thankfully, this is a pretty quick level. Nice, I was able to get both that star and the final red coin in a single jump. And I just realized I accidentally forgot to get another nip star, but that's not a huge deal because I can just get it after this course. And now you're probably starting to see why grabbing all those lives early on was important, because I'm kind of starting to burn through them now. So here's the second MIPS. So the first MIPS that I got, you can actually use that for the second MIPS star as you can. This is a really bad way. Okay, this is not a soft lock. I will be able to escape this. I just have to hold to the side here. There we go. That was a little worrisome, but thankfully I was able to get out of that. So the first MIPS that I got was over by a Starshine Cove. That can actually be where the second MIPS spawns as well, and that's actually what you use in the normal categories. But in non-stop, since you only get one opportunity to visit that place by Starshine Cove, it's better to just get the 2 MIPS in different locations. And here's the second Bowser level. We have Bomberman 64 music that's, again, just ripped straight from Mario 7's This actually was the original song the original song was unbearably loud, which is probably why it was replaced. So I'm using the shell here because I'm going to go for a kind of cool strat that I don't think is actually faster, but will allow me to skip a death at least if I can get it. So So I need the shell there so I can lava boost out of there in order to potentially get back from this area. Nice. That's a lot harder than it looks. So this is a 2-trip level though, because there's another star that I do have to die in order to get. And I'm gonna go for something kind of funny here. So I need to get both of those caps there, and if you grab them just right, it is actually possible to get the hat and hand glitch. So I was trying to get that there, but unfortunately I didn't get it. It doesn't really matter. It just would have been funny to show off. I would very much like to get the star. And then I'm gonna get the other 2 stars in conjunction with the Bowser fight here. There's another star right here that I'm gonna try to grab. Like this, and then this slope is actually so steep that you can't even slide on it normally, so I had to ground pound in order to initiate sliding there. Very thankful that neither of those bowling balls hit me, because they would have knocked me into the lava and I would have died. That wasn't an invisible wall, I just bonked on the ceiling. I like how that worked out. And then here's the second Bowser fight. Again, it's basically just the same as the original game. Except the camera's a lot lower here when you're using latitude cam, so it's a bit more... It's a bit harder to tell what you're doing. I hit the throw, so that's good. And then the keys also don't take me out of the level, so here I just have to exit the level. And before I head to the third overworld, I'm gonna grab that one up. So that's almost everything in the first 2 overworlds. I would say it's just one more time, so it's starting. And it's just right here. So here's another great instance of this hack being jank. So for some reason, if you enter this key door through the right door, you end up in a black room of death. This door transition only works if you enter from the left side. It's very stupid that that's the case. So me going back and having to backtrack here is actually required. Alright, so here's the third overworld. It's just kind of inside the castle. And we're gonna start with Chaotic Clock Tower with the ball rolling music from Mario Galaxy. And this level is indeed kind of chaotic. For starters, we got secrets on these 5 pillars here. have to do one reclimb here in order to get all the secrets and get the secret star. And there's a lot of very tricky platforming in this level. And this is not the intended way to get past this first section of the level, but it is a little bit faster. And then there's a thwomp here that's extremely annoying. And I just completely failed that triple jump. Thwomp has to be down in order for you to be able to triple jump on top of it, because you can't really go underneath it. Okay, that was a bad cycle. There we go. Yeah, you can't really go underneath that thwomp, so you have to go on top of it, but you can't really see it. So you kind of have to just... You kind of have to listen for it and pay attention. Also, this Evo sucks. Surprised it didn't beat me there. This slope right here is annoying because there's a big chunk of it that isn't solid, so if you don't do this jump properly, you'll just fall through it and die. And you may have noticed that I haven't collected any coins yet, and that's because for the 100 coin star, they're just all right there. Last star, conveniently, the route kind of works out nice that you can get this star last, because, again, this is a one-way trip, so you have to fall down here. Alright. That was kind of sloppy, but I made it through without dying, so that's still pretty good. And now it's time for course 12. Hydrofire Chasm. And we get to start off with a Wiggle fight, with more janky tactic. Gotta make sure I get that first red coin. And I apologize again, you are gonna have to hear some loud, high-pitched music that breaks. I would very much like to hit Jiggle here. So that music crackling, that was not the stream, that was the game. The music here is so loud and high-pitched that the game just can't handle it. And so it just distorts like crazy. And again, this has the awful rendition of the Floral Caverns theme, but by grabbing the star while the music is muted, now we don't have to listen to it. This level is still pretty annoying. There's a bunch of very awkward jumps, and there's one place where soft locking is at extremely high. There's one place where the risk of soft locking is extremely high. So hopefully we can avoid that. Oh yeah, this jump is a nightmare because of that. Thankfully, the Chuck threw me in the right direction, but that can go horribly wrong. Now I gotta cross more of these green platforms that shrink when you step on them while collecting red coins. Again, once those platforms shrink, they don't come back. So you gotta make sure you get the red coins from there without falling down. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna get a double cutscene here. This might be a little bit awkward. So far, so good. But even that all is still just the easy part. We're getting to the really scary part here in just a minute. there's a nice little corridor here with boxes that you have to climb across. And you'll notice that there are slopes surrounding both sides. If you fall into those sloped areas and you're in a belly sliding state, you can't get out of that. That is just horrible, horrible level design. Sorry, Pi. But, that sucks. I was a little too high there, so I bonked on that wall. So now I gotta climb all the way back up. That's really annoying, but whatever. That also means I have one more chance to soft lock there, so hopefully that doesn't happen. So I'm playing it extra careful here because I really don't want to mess this up. Let's not miss the star this time. Yeah, that jump is really awkward. Okay, thankfully after this, the rest of the level is really easy. Because this pillar, I can conveniently use it to just down warp into this cave, where the last 2 stars are. And thankfully they're pretty close to each other. I just swam into a ceiling there. And waiting to drown would take a while. And would also cost me a life, so I'm just gonna exit course even though it would probably take longer to get back. I can also grab that additional one up. So this should be the last time I have to do this long trek back to the 3rd overworld. Before I go on to the next course, there's one more toad star I can get. That requires me to go inside this pipe. And while I'm in here, I actually didn't realize this. I actually kind of forgot about this when I did the exit course earlier, but there's actually a 3 1-0s on this platform here. I think my risk of game overing at this point should be pretty low, unless I just die stupidly a bunch of times. So here's Twin Peaks. This level is kind of all over the place in terms of what you have to do for the stars. Got a really funny long jump skip here. Nice, I got that. Missing that is pretty costly because you either die because you fall into the quicksand or you just miss this and jump right away. Then you have to go like that before it gets started anyway. So this is kind of a treacherous level. Especially considering you can do the whole thing in one go. Also, this is yet another song that's just ported from Mario 74 Extreme Edition. This is the Riddle Tower theme from TTYD. little hard to recognize, but... So now I got a somewhat tough star to do. This star is actually pretty difficult to do casually. And I just completely missed that shell. So you need to use this shell in order to cross over this giant patch of purple quicksand. And you can actually cheese it a little bit by jumping on this higher part. That's actually way easier than doing it the normal way. This is a very, very narrow ledge that you'd have to jump across otherwise. And if you break the shell by bonking on the ledge, then you're above quicksand and you die. Again, amazing level design. And then, conveniently, there's a warp you can access from that location that takes you right back here. And from here, I can actually jump down to this lower area, which happens to be at the end of a pathway that leads to another star. Playing it a little safe here because I don't want to die. And there's just a part of that area there that's sloped, so if you aren't careful, it's easy to just slide off. So I'm gonna make sure I jump around it. All that's left here are the coin collecting stars. Alright, and now we just have 2 main courses left. These last 2 courses are pretty tricky. Of course, you have the Suffocating Moon Temple, where a bunch of this level is in toxic gas. In the original version of this game, the entire level was in toxic gas. And we're starting off with King Womp fight. You actually have to make sure you go through that hard before you challenge King Womp, otherwise you don't have enough time to kill him before you run out of air and die. Which is actually pretty clever. Other than that, it's a standard King Womp fight. Oh yeah, Mario Cam doesn't really work well when you're in a toxic gas, and I need to heal, like, right now. Dang. Yeah, I accidentally zoomed in when I shouldn't have. So I'm actually in a very interesting place right now. Alright, I'm going to be doing some improv routing here. This is going to be kind of circumstantial improv routing, so we'll see how this goes. This Koopa the Quick Race has a chance to just not work, by the way. Okay, he's fine. Yeah, sometimes he just gets stuck down there. Thankfully, he finished the race. Yeah, it's toxic gas. It's like the toxic gas in a Hazy Maze cave. So normally I would do that Koopa race and the red coin star in a separate trip, but kind of rethink my strategy here. I can maybe make this work. Again, I'm just completely improvising here. Because dying after the King Womp Star was not something I had planned for. So normally I get, when I do the first trip of this level, I get the King Womp Star, the 100-point star, and then there's 3 other stars I get. Because the Koopa race doesn't spawn until Act 2, and I also need the shell in order to get all the other stars here. Also, hi Chucka. I forgot Chucka could fall down there. So, we're just gonna kinda... Again, I'm just kind of improvising here, but I think I can make this work. Going up here. By the way, this is the final battle music from Thousand Year Door. You'll also hear a different rendition of this music in the next level. Entirely sure what I'm going to be doing from here. I don't think I can look for the final song from here. Might be able to. Yeah, I'm going to go for this. I'm probably going to fit. Yeah, it's too close for comfort. I'm sorry, I really shouldn't be improvising like this, but that's kind of what happens when you get thrown off. Because I realized I could potentially do the remaining stars in a single trip. That's why I kind of wanted to try this out. Okay, I should be able to do this. There we go. This will work. That was kind of weird, but incredibly, it actually worked out. I'll have to keep that route in mind for when if I ever mess around with this category some more, because that might actually be faster. Now it's time for the final course, Searing Sun Temple, which has, aside from the music, has very little similarities to the previous level. There's also 12 red coins here. And it's a very, very tall level. So, falling in this level has very, very dire consequences. Fortunately, I can actually skip by on a lot of coins because this level has plenty of coins. Including a bunch of coins that are basically uncollectible because there's a bunch of bullies in this level. And to kill them, you'd basically have to push them all into the pit of lava at the very bottom of the stage, but then you can't get the coins without immediately dying afterwards. Also, in version 1.0, this level was basically unplayable because the level textures just glitch out and cover the entire screen. And it looks like a complete garbled mess. Also, if you're familiar with the sound glitch from the original SM64, which is something that can happen on the Japanese version, if you stay in this level for too long and let the level music play, you also get sound glitch there. But that shouldn't be an issue here, because shouldn't have to be at this level for too long at any given time. So I'm almost at the top of the level, and I still haven't collected any stars. So I really don't want to fall down here. Alright, get ready for a nice little jump scare. Chuck you out of nowhere. If you're not careful, I'll chuck you out. That's bad. So, that happened to be in my vanilla 151 star PB as well. I'm pretty sure that exact same situation happened. Which sucks, because I think this actually could have PB'd. So that's just 3 minutes gone, because I lost all of my progress there. I really should have taken it a lot safer there, but I don't remember how I was supposed to take it. That's really unfortunate, because this run was actually going decently well until then. Super awkward because you really don't want to overshoot it. So you want to aim for the ledge grab, but it's very hard to get the ledge grab because of the spacing and also the camera. Yeah, the camera makes it very hard to judge. Failing so hard right now. This is a very punishing level to have mistakes like that happen on, just because it's so big, and if you fall down, then you fall up. It takes forever to fall down, and you pretty much have to redo the entire level. Safer this time, so that doesn't happen again. Actually, you know what? That's not what I wanted to do. Finally finished with this. Again, really sorry about having that happen. That's just kind of an example of how this game can very easily screw you over due to this poor design. At this point, I'm just going to be kind of going down and level up like the stars all the way. Now we got another pretty cool strat coming up here. just not gonna, I'm not gonna really say anything about this strat. I'm just gonna kind of let it speak for itself. Hopefully I can pull this off. Nice. Now I need to not fall in the lava. Okay, so I have to go back there for one more star, because there's 2 stars that are basically just dead ends. Go. I just gotta take one more death. And all that's left is the final Bowser level, which has the last 4 stars in it. Also, that wall just doesn't exist for some reason. So this level actually has 14 red coins, and they're kind of all spread about. And again, this is a really, really big level. Getting past that section without having to slow down is super, super hard. You have to space out your double jump kicks just right. This lag spike there almost killed me. So you might recognize this area. This is kind of a shorter version of, or like a smaller version of course 14. Alright, this part right here is really scary. Okay, sometimes you just bonk on a part of the wall that extends out there and you just die right away. It's really bad. Here is pretty scary. So I gotta do a little bit of a lap around that outside of this area. Now. Thankfully, colors I'm not can't stand on them safely. I gotta be careful with this final shell section. I can't fall down in this room because I can't get back up. So you get to kind of see the intended path through this level when doing this red coin star. But you won't be seeing the full intended path through the level on my return trip. Because I can get all the stars in one go, but then I have to do a separate trip back in order to actually get to the Bowser fight. Potentially. I might, if I feel stupid enough, I might go for something that I've never actually been able to pull off. Just to show it off, because this run can't PB anyways. Alright, this is the last really scary part. I can't fall down here. have all of the stars, but I feel like kind of trying to do something here. So I don't ever go for this strat. In fact, I have never successfully pulled this off, but for the sake of the marathon, I figured I might as well at least try it. So it's actually possible to skip this entire stage by doing a very, very precise BLJ. And when I say very precise, I mean the chances that I actually hit this are basically none. Yeah. That was a horrible attempt. But I would have had to die anyway, so it doesn't matter. So I won't go for that again. That BLJ is really only worth it in the 0-star category. So now all that's left for us to get to Bowser and defeat him. So I'm going to be taking a slightly slower route. That's how you're supposed to get through that. So, in this section, I'm actually going to be doing a skip that I actually found. That somehow everybody just missed for like the first 7 years of this game's existence. So in this section, I can grab the shell. Instead of going into the pipe like I'm supposed to, I can actually take the shell over to the outside areas of the arena. And there's just kind of nothing in this area that prevents you from jumping over the sides here. So you can jump over the wall here. And that skips like the last entire section of the level, and that saves about like 20 seconds. I actually found that back in 2020. And now it's time for my final Bowser fight, which once again is the same as before. Alright, can I go 3 for 3? Yeah! Solid way to end this run. And there we go. So aside from that 3-minute mistake in course 15, which unfortunately did actually cost me a record, that was a pretty good run. And the ending sequence for this is hilariously broken, so since I finished a few minutes ahead of estimate, I'll just let it kind of play out. For the record, that was a little over 2 minutes behind my best. Technically, the world record in this run is kind of invalid because I actually had to, it was during another marathon run, I actually had to use the level reset code at one point because I soft locked. But, so I guess that would make this the official record, but it really depends on how you want to define it. So yeah, they use this map for the ending cutscene. I think Pi intended to use the Star Temple map, but for some reason they got switched up. And Mario actually doesn't properly fall in front of Peach here. So if you listen very, very carefully here, you'll just hear Mario continuously run into a wall once that sequence begins. So yeah, he's nowhere to be seen right now. And you can just kind of hear him perpetually running, and now Peach's animations are completely broken for whatever reason. And apparently because of this, the credits can't properly start. So once it transitions here, it just kind of gets frozen. And you can still hear Mario running, trying to get to Peach, but he never will. And then the camera does its little pan upwards, and that's kind of just the end of the game. Yeah, very fitting note for it to end on. And one final thing I want to show off. So, I mentioned before that there's a bunch of places in this game where you can soft lock due to very poor level geometry. You may be asking yourself, since you never got to actually see any of them, just what do I mean by that? How fast can we soft lock this game? Well, why don't I show you? So this is the very start of the game. I run over here. That's not what I wanted to do. There we go. So yeah, you're stuck once if you fall into this area in just the right way, you get stuck here, and yeah, I can't get out of here. So I'm gonna leave it on this image because I think this image is a good summation of what this video game is all about. So thanks for watching. Thanks for letting me showcase this, and hopefully I'll have some more ROM hacks to show you guys in the future.